Take a look at some of our top local headlines here on First at 3. 4 people were injured and taken to the hospital after a crash in North O. This happened just before 11 last night. You are looking at the aftermath of the scene near North 58th Street and Northwest Radial Highway. 40 teachers